I am Pete Taraski. I am the pastor of Resurrection Baptist Church. Everybody calls me Chap. I spent 15 years as a first responder chaplain. The evening that the flood came in, it started off slow. It was just raising up in the streets. It didn't have us very panicked at all. I thought I should go down to the basement and turn off the breakers before it got any worse. And when I opened the door to the basement, all I could see was the top step. Everything else in the basement was completely submerged. The water raised up quite a bit, and the fire alarm system went off, and not knowing if from the electrical being on we were having a fire or not, we exited out of the fire escape into the flood because there was nowhere else to go. And we spent the rest of the night in the flood waiting for the sun to come up and to reassess where we were. This church has been here since the late 60s. I came in about 2 years ago due to a tragedy with the last pastor. A week before I came here, there was a suicide in the building. This church has been through a lot, and it really just needed a break and a new beginning, and that's what I came here to try to do. We were putting flowers out for people to take and give to somebody they love. We deliver baskets to different businesses for their break rooms and open prayers, and just doing so many new things into the community, reestablishing this church with the community. And we started growing again. We had some young families and children, and it was a blessing and exciting. And we were looking forward to having a great VBS here and a community barbecue so we can get to know our neighbors better. And it all went away with the flood when the flood came. So we are now trying to pick up the pieces. We're in a survival mode. We're now having church on Zoom, and also visiting with other churches and having church with them. Just trying to encourage one another as we go through this time. My family and I have had to relocate. We were actually living in an apartment above here, and there's no electricity, no water, no heat, no nothing, and the smell is pretty bad here still. Not a healthy place to be. So we're relocated now, which makes it tough for all of us too. So we're in the stage now of just trying to come back. We did not have flood insurance, and this is all coming out of our pocket and people's that are helping. We have a number of churches that want to get involved and help, and that's a great thing. We need the manpower to come and do the labor. But we also need finances too. There's a lot of things that are needing to come together. But I trust in God's hand to do this. He's given us the peace about it. And then there's the blessings through it all too. This church was not handicap accessible, and as it comes back, it will be. So we'll be able to have people in wheelchairs come in and have church with us, which is a blessing. And we're bringing things more up to date. People would come to this church and say it was the 90s atmosphere. It just was stuck like in the 90s. And now everything is gone, so it's coming back totally new. It's been a great opportunity for us to get out and meet with our neighbors, reassure them. You know, it's a time we're crying on each other's shoulder. Simple as that. I know exactly what they've been through, and they know exactly what we've been through because we went through it together. And that's able for us to build that relationship with them and to help overcome this and reinsure one another. A lot of our neighbors we're closer than ever before. We're borrowing things to help each other out and building those relationships. So God has used this to bring us closer into this community. And that's been my goal all along. God's hand is already at work, but we need a lot more help. This is a big project. There's a place for this church in Montpelier, and it needs to make it. It's as simple as that. This church is struggling to fit in here, but we've been breaking ice. God's hand has been at work. and we've been making new relationships, and we're growing. So we're doing what God has commanded us to do, and we're trying to be good stewards with all we have. But this one's bigger than us. We need our brothers and sisters in Christ to come alongside and help us to come back.